Hi teachers, here's a new safety feature for you, the SOS button. The SOS button will help you deal with unpleasant and unsafe situations during the class. If you are experiencing extremely inappropriate behavior during class and want to end it, click on the new SOS button. Once you click on it, you will get two options. If you pressed the button by mistake or want to continue the class, click on Rejoin the Class option on the left and it will take you back to the class. On clicking End Class, you will get a confirmation screen and the actions we have taken. You can return back to your dashboard. For trial classes, clicking the SOS button will deactivate the student instantly. For paid classes, clicking on the SOS button will alert the audit team who will investigate the issue. We hope this feature will empower you to take the right action.
Hello everyone, here is a reminder from your friendly LMS. The LMS is one-stop solution for all your learning needs. What do we have on the LMS? We have level-specific courses that cover all the details about the platform, the curriculum, classes, projects, assessments, reference materials, and the certificates for specific levels. Check out the new teacher section for all the happening news. Check the LMS profile section to see how you're progressing. Did you know that an hour's time on LMS every day will double your trial conversions and make you the best coding teacher? So what are we waiting for? Log into the LMS today. Happy learning!
Tyler's always been a little space crazy, so WhiteHat Jr. is the perfect fit for him. So his imagination has totally taken off.
My teacher and I are coding a new space simulator comparing the gravities of black holes to Mars.
Tyler's definitely learning more science here than he is at school, and I give all the credit to his WhiteHat Jr. teacher.
Book a free coding class today on WhiteHatJr.com.
Both my kids are happy, eager little learners. Since Audrey has started with WhiteHat Jr., her grades have improved so much. We were going to wait a bit until Dexter was a bit older, but he saw how much fun Audrey was having with her teacher at WhiteHat Jr. that he didn't want to wait, so we enrolled him, and it really has helped with his math.
Book a free coding class today on WhiteHatJr.com.
WhiteHat's really good and I love doing coding classes with them.
It's been fantastic to see her journey from kind of hating math and learning math through this unconventional approach to coding, then seeing the improvement in her schoolwork as a result of that.
My coding teacher, sometimes I feel like she knows more things than my school teacher.
That level of personalized support that you get, it shows that WhiteHat really care.
Book a free class today on WhiteHatJr.com.
Yeah, great. Yeah, so we have a fair amount of teachers on the line. So good morning, everybody. This is Karan. Really a great pleasure to speak to you. I think I've met obviously a lot of you before, but a lot of you I haven't got a chance to say hello. So I'm very happy to be here. So I wanted to start a little bit talking about the company after the Beju's acquisition, right? Because obviously that's well discussed about everywhere. I think overall, my view is that we are more robust than we've ever been. I'm going to talk about a few things that might be on your mind and think about them proactively and talk about them, but I would also love any questions you have. But I would say overall, we are very robust because at its core, I think Beju, being a teacher himself, has, I would say, tremendous faith in the teacher-led model, right? Even more so, which he's talked to me many times about, even more so than he has in their own kind of core model of asynchronous content. He believes that synchronous content, which is basically teachers, live teachers and live students, is going to be the future of the education industry and or education technology overall, and will take over the world completely, right? So his kind of entire belief is that WhiteHat Jr. will be the fulcrum for Beju's to expand internationally with coding, with maths, and in the near future, right, all over the world. So I would say his vision on teachers and that being the center of the education world overall is, I would say, even more robust and more personal, because he was a teacher himself, right? All his life he had been a person who was in love with education, didn't go to any of the colleges to focus on teaching. So I would actually say that his pride and belief in the teachers of WhiteHat Junior is really, really very powerful and very incredible, right? And in the next town hall, I think in the next few weeks, we'll get him to come and speak, because this happened at the last moment, right? So I'm very, very excited. I think the future of the company and the teacher being the center of the company is very, very strong and robust, and I'm very excited about that. I wanted to address a few things proactively, right? The first thing is what you're facing right now with trial slots going unbooked, right? The root cause of that problem is that we had made a very heavy investment in growing the US market, which you saw in the first half of this year, right? When we launched in March, for the first 6 months, we really scaled the US market very heavily. So a lot of the teachers who moved to the US slots in the nighttime saw that their slots were full at that point. But what happened is that in the last couple of months, because of the US presidential elections mainly, the cost of acquisition of customers has really gone up, right? So if you look at our model, right, we do marketing to attract customers to come to the platform for a free trial class. You do the free trial class, and after that, they become paid customers, right? We saw that the trials has become very expensive. Now, this is a very short-term phenomenon till about November 7th, when the US presidential elections are happening. All over the US media, which is television, above the line, digital, the advertising costs got very, very prohibitively expensive. So we decided to kind of lean back in the US to the presidential elections. And in that time, we were also figuring out how to truly build this category in the US with customers, right? So there was conversations with Robert Downey Jr., and now there's conversations with Will Smith. So we are looking at a global ambassador who can really help create this category almost instantly in all of the developed world, if you will, right? And we kind of like have been going on those discussions in parallel. So we are ready by the time the US market opens up again for advertisers to come in, for us to book free trial classes. And that's why I think you've seen a temporary reduction in slots. Obviously, the US, we've kind of scaled back on. As a result, we've put the teachers in India. And in India, obviously, there is a lot of diminishing returns in advertising. If you know, obviously, WhiteHat Junior is all over the television space and in every advertising medium, and spending more money on television is not going to lead to more slot utilization at all, right? So the right balance of the company is using the India market, using the US market, using the Europe market. And we saw like a huge escalation costs leading up to the presidential elections in our core US market, right? Even as we were opening up other markets which come with their own ups and downs. So I would say by mid-November, so if you are patient for this month, by mid-November, a bunch of things are happening, right? The first is that we'll be scaling up the US market once again as soon as the presidential election is over. One, we will be launching the maths course. I think Dr. Farida sent a survey yesterday that any teacher who's more than 1 month in the platform, we are gonna start. It'll start slowly, obviously. The maths course will launch for the teachers who were with us right at the beginning. The way the coding course launched, for the first couple of months, we're going to test. But soon after that, maths is going to kind of scale again very rapidly all over the world. And teachers will now be dual skilled. So they'll do both coding and they'll do maths, and your slots will fill up anytime with maths and coding students from all over the world. And I think it's also going to be wonderful because it's great learning, right? The thesis of the maths course is very similar to the coding course, which is the fact that kids fall out of love with maths very early, especially in the developed world. And the whole idea we have is that if maths is a tool for practical creativity, right? Very similar to what we did in coding, right? Where they use code to create things. If maths is used to create things, then kids would fall in love with it because kids love creativity. And maths has not been associated with creativity. So the course is wildly creative. We are doing a lot of test runs right now. A lot of classes have been created and we are testing them right now. And I think by about November 19th is the planned launch at a smaller scale in the beginning. By about mid-December or so, we'll scale that as well. So you'll see maths becoming very big. Obviously, coding in the US will open up again significantly. And then already teachers are seeing the 1:2, right? One teacher, two students in class, in which we're also trying to increase the payout of the teacher, one teacher, two students in class. That we are taking on all of the old customers who had a very good experience with you in the trial class, but did not convert. We are doing a exercise to get all of them into the 1:2, right? So a lot of your slots will start filling up with the one teacher, two students kind of a model, right? So that's we created the product for it about 2 months ago, and now that's scaling also rapidly. So if I look at, I would say mid-November, end November, I think things will be completely back to normal. Companies go through cycles, and the idea is that it will come back, and again the positive cycle will come back again, as we have a lot of new initiatives planned with maths, with 1:2, global launches, scaling. US and Australia, we're already planning to scale, and then a few other markets will be added, right, where we see the potential. That's one, right? So I would say long term, extremely robust platform. With Bejus, we are part of the largest edtech company in the world, by far the largest edtech company in the world, by far probably the largest education company that's been ever been created. We are going into that path, right? And the opportunities that it creates for everybody will be incredible. And he has the same vision of teachers being the heart of the education world, right? So very, very similar vision. So I feel very, very excited about that. Finally, the other thing which obviously is on top of everybody's mind is all the trolling that's happening on the internet, social media, etc. There is no easy answer to that, but there's also not a very tough answer, right? The thing is that I've lived through these cycles multiple times, right? Every time you build or create something, whether you're writing a novel or launching a TV channel, see, the thing is that the world will pull you down, right? That's just the nature of, I guess, life, right? When you're doing anything big and significant, half the people will support you, the other half will kind of pull you down, because that's just the nature of people, right? They are, people are living through their own frustrations and their own, like this is a lockdown, people are living through their own frustrations, their own unemployment, etc. And I think, people who are doing things become very easy targets to vent out your frustration. So generally, my approach has been that I haven't really cared very much about it, because it's just a cycle. You do it, you build something, people will pull down, then you build something again. It just is the nature of things. My general advice to you is that you are doing fabulous work, right? All kids love the teachers, right? If we continue to look at our consumer net promoter scores, teachers are at the kind of always the teachers and curriculum are the number 1 and 2 reasons why kids continue to love the course so much. We are growing because of kids telling other kids, right? And I would say just ignore it. I think you're doing fabulous work. It's great work. I would not spend even a minute getting negative or ruminating about it, because it's just like pointless, right? It's the nature of the creator's life, or that you're doing like very interesting creative work, and people will pull down because that's what they do, right? So there is, I would say my personal advice is to not even think about it. Now, having said that, when I look at all this stuff, I read everything, and that's because I'm more in the spirit of what can we reflect and do better, right? So could our marketing obviously has not been up to mark, right? So there's no denying that, right? Our marketing has not been great. Are we gonna fix our marketing? Obviously, right? So you saw the ads that we just played, right? These are just very simple ads of real students, by the way. Some of you are teachers of these students, and we have ads with real students, and that's what we are playing in the developed world. And in India, again, different things work in India, and we are kind of fixing that, right? Getting the right creatives, right? So there's but I would say, out of the mistakes that you can make, right, and any startup is going to make its mistakes, it's far tougher to make mistakes in product, tech, teachers, curriculum, fundamentals. Marketing is okay, right? I mean, it's one bad ad, it's very easy to fix. So I'm personally, I'm not diminishing it. I know people feel the pain, but I would say, having lived in this world for a few years now, maybe 10 years of like doing something, writing or TV channels, or like this is just you have to accept the good with the bad, right? People, more people are kind of moved by like big creative endeavors than people who pull you down. The people who pull you down are obviously smaller in number but higher in noise. I would just kind of brush them off and move on and be proud, extremely proud of what you do. And I'm very excited about the future of the company and your future in the company overall. So yeah, so that's what I wanted to say. Pratik, anything else?
No, Karan, I think we've received quite a lot of good feedback on comments as well. So,
okay. If there's any questions that I can answer, I'll answer them. Yeah, so trials, I think we talked a lot. There's a lot of questions on trials. As I said, we pulled back in the US because of the extremely escalating costs because of the presidential elections. And as soon as the elections end by mid-November, we'll be back in line with US trials. And around the same time, we're also launching maths as well. So I would say early December, late November, I think you'll be completely back to normal, right? And that's why we are going to do. And then also soon, I would say in the next couple of weeks, you'll start seeing your slots filled with 1 to 2, right? 1 teacher, 2 students. Just keep your ratings up. We are prioritizing we are prioritizing in order of ratings and performance. So you'll just see everything fill up back to normal. Okay, I'm going to try to see questions. Job security, I think I would not worry about job security at all, right? So the company is building for the long term. Just because 2 weeks we don't have trials because, because things are there's variations in every market. I won't worry so much, right? I think there's too much worrying happening for no reason at all, I would say. Why are we not getting trials in India shift timings? It's actually related, right? See, what happens is that if we moved all of our teachers from the US to India, obviously we didn't plan for, or we should have planned for, but we are obviously new. So we didn't plan for the US advertising escalation because of the presidential election. So we moved the teachers to India, and then we had obviously too many slots open in India. And as you know, advertising would have diminishing returns. We are all over the internet and stuff, but beyond a point, we won't be able to fill all the slots right now. So I would say, yeah, it's all gonna look much better in a few weeks from now. I would love to teach mathematics. Yes, we would love for you to teach mathematics, right? So we'll take a slow start on the course in December and then in November, and then by about mid-December, I think we'll be scaling mathematics very rapidly. Okay, a lot of questions. So Pratik, can we just save this chat so that?
Yes, Karan will do that. So some of it will also cover at the end of the.
Yeah. Teachers like me who do not have coding background, do not understand the nitty-gritty of coding. How about senior teachers training us, right? So we have set up a very strong mentorship system. If we can make anything better on that, I would say a lot of confidence in Pratik and Harshal, very responsive team. If you're feeling that the mentors are not supportive or we can do better in the mentorship program, I think that the company will always get better, right? I think every feedback that you're listening, I'm on Workplace whenever I get time, every feedback that you're giving is being listened here, right? So you might see that there is a lag in answering that. That's typically because of the cycles of tech and product development, but every feedback is listened, and there is a very, I would say, very, very genuine effort to really make the platform better daily, right? On a very, very daily basis. Tie up with schools. Yes, so tie up with schools is, we've just started that exercise as well. Okay, I think there's a lot of great suggestions, right? So we'll, I would love to, I would say, I would love to kind of consolidate all of this and make sure that we are answering it, right? But can we make sure we lose the Q&A? Yeah.
Right.
Yes, we will consolidate all the good suggestions coming across from teachers, really great suggestions, and then we will work on that and get back to teachers.
So there is a lot of questions on will we be fired if we don't have good conversion percentage, right? So I think these are tough questions that you should ask overall. And I would say our stronger view is on the input rather than the output, right? We believe that the input, which is basically punctuality percentage, being on time for class, the ratings after the class, like doing well with your input will automatically do great output. So we don't manage output as much as we manage the input, right? That's kind of the idea. Okay, cool. I think keep these coming. I didn't realize there would be so many questions, but I would I'll kind of like really look at it and try to kind of create buckets and figure out how. Yeah. Yeah, but overall, I'm very excited. I think very, very excited about the future. I think you're going to teach coding and maths to the whole world. I think it's very fundamental, both of these things, right? Especially in the developed world. My wife is obviously not Indian, as some of you know. What I've seen is that the kids make a judgment on whether they are good at maths or not very early, right? And once they make a judgment that they're not good at maths, the whole world, half of the world is blocked for them, right? Because if you're at grade 1, you've decided that you're not good at maths, like half of the world's opportunities are blocked for you. So I actually think that this course, the maths course that's coming, similar to what we did with the coding course, is going to be a very, very world-changing initiative, right? Because I would say thousands of kids all over the world will really fall in love with maths, and that's going to open up worlds that are kind of will become close to them if they have made that decision. So I'm very excited about the future of what's coming, and thank you for your time. And at any point of time, just drop me a note or put it on Workplace, and I'm always very responsive. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Karan.
Bye bye.
Yeah.
Thank you, Karan.
So hello all teachers. My name is Harshil. Welcome again to the town hall. I think that was a great conversation with Karan. So we have got about close to 466 questions. It's not possible for us to answer all of them within this 1 hour duration. So we're going to collate all those questions. We're going to segregate them in certain buckets, and we'll get back to you along with the answers or responses individually, as well as in the workplace. So we'll do that. There's some very great suggestions which have come across, so please keep on sending us that. As a company, it's very important for us that we keep on improving day on day, and I think that has been our strength, and we're going to continue to build on our strength. Priti, can we have the presentation?
Yeah. Are you guys able to see the screen?
Yeah. So moving on. So we are turning to, as a company, short duration of about 24 months, and the success that we have created, not just for us, but I think for the whole student as well as teacher, that is a testament to our quality. Any internet company, any tech company in this today's competitive world only stands because of its quality of the tutors, quality of the students, quality of the platform, quality of the curriculum. And our success today is a clear testament that we have done really, really well on all those 4 fronts. And I think as Karan said, that it's a creator's dilemma, that whenever you build something, there are people who are going to support you, and there are people who are going to come and say that what you're doing is not good. So we can have a choice that do we go back and respond to every critique that's coming our way, or we pick up our battles, work on our strengths, and build on where we are at. And I think we're going to go forward with improving at every chance and every session that's going to come our way. And I think I can't say it more than, and whenever I talk about this, I feel really proud that all of our teachers, the curriculum that they deliver and the class experience they deliver, it's been literally loved by the parents. They appreciate, respect the teachers, and they're very, very happy with our outcome so far. And I think we have more than enough number of feedbacks coming our way. Unfortunately for us, that because these are personal messages, we don't go and showcase them on a public domain, because it's a private conversation. But there are some conversations even happening on the LinkedIn now, where people do come back and say what we're doing is really great. So I think let's not focus on the negative things. Let's focus on our positive parts, and let's build on from there on. Next slide, please. In the same breath, there are areas that we know that we need to improve. Our success till date has been on the great experience that we've been able to give to our students. We do have very clear actions with us. I clearly remember about a month back, we talked about certain bad apples, right? Certain bad behaviors that we had. And in last 1 month, I think we have reached out to all the teachers where we think they could have done better specifically on the input parameters, punctuality, project feedback, responsiveness. And I think we have seen a tremendous improvement. Now that we are actually reaching the gold standard, I think it's important that for us that we go to global the platinum standards. And I think next slide, please. And the entire part of becoming good to great for us as a platform, for us as a community, it's very important that we really focus us on upskilling, on what we are good at. Let's build on those strengths, but we also keep on learning more and more and more. right? So I think four key specific things I would want the teachers to focus upon going forward. One is mastering the concepts, whatever course you are teaching, beginner, intermediate, advanced, pro, and even math in the coming times. Please we make sure that we are absolutely mastering what we are teaching, right? Be fluent with all the concepts we are teaching, including the project as well as the questions, and even some of the things which are going on outside of the projects we are. Second is that we need to be very strong in using our platforms. And I think platforms not just mean the panel, but I think the entire LMS, the entire bootcamp, and the different tools that we're building in for the teachers. What we are also going to focus going forward is to make sure that all of our teachers are very well informed about what is the latest in coding, computer and technology, so that all of us are very up to the pace about the changing and ever growing fascinating world of the uh, computers and tech. The last, I think, but I think the most important part of it is the world-class coding teacher. So while we have been focusing a strong, very much strong on the teaching pedagogy, we're also now going to focus more on the cultural quotient and the social etiquette for a specific type of geography that we're going to get into. So the words which are very common to be used in India may not be very well accepted in by the students in US, UK, or ANZ. So we actually gonna go and start building on those ones, right? So the point is our journey has been really good. We have built a strong team, a great community of teachers, a great platform. It's important that we actually move up from basics to upskill to the writers. That's a journey that we need to actually cover going forward. The next slide, please. So keeping this whole perspective in place, that our our learnings has to actually take the next step now. We are making some very significant changes within our learning management system. So we have introduced bootcamp and we have introduced core concept modules. So bootcamp and core concept module essentially are focused primarily on the core concepts of each level. They are about different tools that teachers are going to use. Just one second. So about the curriculum, about the specific course, about the specific activities, it will cover everything. Idea is that for us to keep on upskilling the teachers, not just from the beginner or intermediate advanced pro, but across levels, across the different concepts that you want to teach. We want our teachers to be the best teachers. I'm not, and actually keep on getting stronger day by day. I think next slide, please. So I'm sorry. What we also gonna what we have already start building in our LMS. If some of you are actually I have seen the certification done there, that we were building the basic coding GK module. So we will make sure that all of us, including all the teachers, all the employees, are very up to date about what's happening new in the computer and the tech world, so that any kind of questions coming our way, we are very well prepared to actually answer all of those ones. So it could be programming languages, AI, ML, hardware, networking, or programming. I think we're going to build a very comprehensive coding module, coding GK module there. Next slide, please. I think we have done significant work in the trial conversion packages, but we keep on learning new things every day, and we're going to embellish this particular part of the trial conversion package going forward. So we are revamping trial classes warm up, wrap up. I think we are revamping that to get a better feel for the student as well for the teacher and the parents on this one. We're going to focus more on the class delivery, how we can do better. So we go back, we see the successful teachers, we identify the right traits, then we try to figure out that if I have to actually go and make all my teachers learn on the right best practices, how do you do that? So all of those things is going to be getting covered in the trial conversion package. As in more we're going global, right? We're going to start teaching non-Indian students, and non-Indian students, so let's say countries like US, Canada, UK, Australia, and New Zealand, or naughty child. But I think if you talk to the similar lines in the US teacher, US, it's not something appreciated. It's more probably we can use terms like they are more energetic, they're more outspoken. So these are certain things that we have seen are leading to not so good outcome, and that's what we're going to focus more on to make sure all of our teachers are able to pick up those words. So I think it's going to be a combination of words for a specific type of countries. Okay, Pratik, next one. On the mastery in the platform, I think we have recently launched three specific uh, initiatives over the last couple of months as pilot, and when we figured out they really help. So what we notice is if by using, of course, the trial class duration to be more than 45 minutes, by using emojis in the class, and by making sure that we're also using icebreaker quiz, the trial percentage has been 5 percentage points higher for the teachers who haven't used this one, right? So it's all about the great experience, how well we're able to delight the students, and how well we're engaged in it. And we're gonna keep on building features for our teachers to actually do better in terms of child engagement, child delight, and learning. What we have also observed in a platform, that there are cases when a child had a bad experience, which could be because of tech, because of any other unforeseen circumstances, but the teacher did not know, right? So when they come to the next class, their expectations are generally very much higher, because they are looking forward to a great session, and they kind of have a little background that, okay, my last year did not really happen well, right? So going forward now, every teacher, when they're about to log into class section, there will be a remark mentioned there which says that the last class was cancelled, so the teacher has a background about what happened in last class. If there was a bad experience, we need to make sure that this time we're doing a really great job at delighting the student, right? So teachers going to have a revamped performance section where they'll give more details around this. There are two specific areas where it will be highlighted if the student had a bad experience. So this is just to make sure that we know exactly what happened last time, and we can do a great job here. Next slide, please.
Right. Sorry. So just to also add, I think teachers is not just about the fact that the student may have had a bad experience. It's also if the student actually had a great experience. And sometimes you will find in this section here where we essentially tell you just before you are about to start the class, if the student actually gave you a 5-star rating, right? And so the core idea here is that in case a student had a bad experience, you would for sure work towards making sure that this particular class has a good one. Now, when we had launched this earlier, we did find that there were some cases where you were finding that the student's class was actually not cancelled, but it was showing up as cancelled. We are working on all of those right now. Some of those issues have been fixed thanks to feedback from all of you. And the rest are right now in progress. But within a couple of weeks, you'll find that the data here is extremely accurate. And what it will help you do is to engage with the student a lot better in both cases, right? If the class was cancelled or if the class started late, then you'll probably have to start the class on time, and you can make sure that you talk to the student about it. And if the student actually gave you a 5-star rating and was really happy with the last class, that could also be a very good conversation point for you to start the class. So we'll show essentially both a bad experience or a really delightful experience over here. And with time, we'll keep building up on it.
Great. Thank you for adding that, Prati. I really missed that bit. Uh, Going forward, teacher will be able to see upfront and plan for day to ensure 100% commitment to watch out classes for. And this is no, I think more so from we had a bad experience before. So every suggestion that has come our way from teachers, we have gone through it, and we have actually built almost all the good suggestions that we could in the short time that we have. Again, I just really want to reassure you that every post that goes on the workplace, every email that comes across to us, it is gone through. It is added to our list of all the suggestions that we get from teachers, and we are building those ones. You may see a lag for us to come back and close the loop, saying, "Hey, this has been done," but all of that would be done, and we'll come back to you, see that this is the reason we're going to do it, and this is the reason we're not going to do it. So please keep on sending the suggestions, sharing your feedback, and we will definitely work on that bit. The next slide, please. Last, in this particular journey for us to become better, bad experience hurts, and it hurts really bad, right? So the good part is, earlier we had about 95% teachers who were the role model behavior. Now that we have with great support from you, and also the team that has been reaching out to you and highlighting some of the parameters where it was bordering bad or actually below bad, that number has gone about 98% plus teachers now. So there are specific 10 things that we still believe are hurting us bad. And this is basically the feedback that we get from the students as the parents, right? So joining a class late, poor internet connection, cancellation at the last minute, taking a class with improper unprofessional background, sofa or a bed, household chores, keeping those videos off, eating food, sleeping during a class, attending phone calls. These are 10 specific feedback that we got from parents, which has led to uh, the maximum bad experience for the teacher, for the parents. Let's just make sure that we are able to actually go and do better. Every escalation which comes our way, either from the students or from the teachers, all of those are actually audited in an impartial way with the greatest of depth and detail. And basis that only we actually come back to a conclusion whether what needs to be done in a particular case, what is the corrective action needs to be taken at the student side, teacher side, or the platform side. I think the slide head is self-explanatory. We had launched a scheme about 96 class plus for an upgrade some time ago for the for a same student actually buying a renewal one. The dashboard now at a teacher actually allows you to say the renewal status and what the interest are, right? So this will actually help the sales team in explaining the renewal process basis the inputs coming in from you. So, but this is already live on the teacher dashboard, right?
Yes, it is. So teachers, I think what we have essentially done is, if you look at the overall way of us approaching it, so right at the learning part, I think a lot of you are using LMS for your core curriculum understanding, and we'll build the LMS so that we can continue doing the more conceptual part. We tested it out with the bootcamp stuff, and then we'll keep building more and more on it, as Vaishya described. We are also building in more tools so that your in-class experience actually goes up. Now, what happens when the two of them, get executed together? What happens is that the students' interest in the curriculum, the students' interest in the course, the students' interest in continuing classes with you, sort of remains energized, and that leads to renewals. And renewals, it's not just about the renewal incentive for all of you teachers, right? A renewal student is potentially a big source of earning, right? If just for example, if a student renews by 40 credits, even if he does a 40 credit renewal, you stand to make an easy 15,000 rupees, right? And the whole idea behind this feature was that because you are interacting with the paid students day in and day out, you are interacting with their parents, you have the feedback conversation with the parent or through our new report card. And if you find that the student and the parent have genuine interest for renewal, you can actually raise it up directly from here, and then our sales team will pick those up on priority. So the idea is that we have given that power to you because you are the one who are doing all the hard work, who are interacting with the parents and the students, and you can just let us know, and then our sales team will take care of the rest and make sure that that renewal goes ahead. So this is essentially us empowering you so that you can let us know when your student and the parent is interested, because you are doing all the hard work around learning, around creating that in-class experience, which leads to the renewal opportunity in the first place.
Good. Yeah. Uh, Going back to some of the suggestions that we had got, we had asked, the teacher requested us, can you please give us a feature where we can schedule a particular student's classes based on the time zone of the student, right? So I think that feature is already live, and we have got very good feedback and on the particular feature, and we get to know the teachers love this particular feature launch. Thank you so much for again helping us do better. We have also, based on the feedback from teachers, we have increased the earning opportunity by booking up to 5 paid classes per week, but it's only up to from C1 to C100 for across all levels. So we have got good feedback again from teachers. I would really request that teachers do reach out to students, and in case they're interested, please do book about 5 classes per week for these students from C0 to C100 across all the 5 courses.
Right. And just to build on that, so the 5 class a week, it's not a rule, it's not mandatory, right? I think it's a flexibility which we had not offered before because we had restricted it to only 3 classes a week. We've just opened that up. It really depends on how you and the parent are judging what the student space is all about. We don't have to unnecessarily speed it up if the student does not really understand the curriculum. At the same time, if you find that you have a really bright student, who's able to understand everything, who's doing his projects on time, who's very excited about the curriculum, well, this is an opportunity for you to then, get more class time with him and help him learn and make it more exciting. So what we have done is essentially, once again, empowered you with the opportunity to do so. It's totally up to you, your interaction with the student and the parent to determine if you want to actually leverage it.
Cool. Sorry.
Also, yeah. Also on similar lines, I think we have it's been more than 2 months now that we have launched the live chat, and thank you for all the positive feedback that you gave us. At the same time, a lot of you gave us feedback around the fact that a lot of those details have to be shared with the live chat agent upfront. But effective, I think now 3 weeks or so, a lot of these details are getting populated on its own, right? So you can see that the session ID and your details are now directly available with the chat agent, and that essentially speeds up the resolution. We've also made the interface a lot more intuitive and comfortable for use. And this is essentially for you to get prompt support. So you were getting prompt support, now you'll get it even faster. Also, we were getting a lot of feedback from teachers around not getting trial class notifications on time. And this was leading to you not being able to join the trial class on time. There were delays coming in from SMSs. There were sometimes delays from IVRs. So what we have done is essentially, we started this pilot a couple of weeks back where we are sending trial class notifications on WhatsApp. Now, unlike IVR and SMS, we have so far seen that the reliability of WhatsApp messaging is quite good. For most of you, you are actually getting the messages on time, and since most of you are anyway on WhatsApp, it's a lot easier for you to just read it and be able to join the class on time. My request or our request to all the teachers would be to save this particular WhatsApp number, and you may actually end up getting these notifications from multiple WhatsApp numbers in the weeks to come. Our request would be for you to save this WhatsApp number on your phone book and to just reply once with a yes. You will not get any response from us back, but to just reply once with a yes or an acknowledgement. And that way we can continue sending these notifications to you. Our data, in fact, is also quite encouraging. So ever since we have started this, a lot of teachers are able to get that notification on time, and their trial class punctuality has actually improved. So I think this is a real win-win. This is still in its experimentation stage, so there may be some teachers who are still not getting those notifications. But by the end of this week, almost all of you will start receiving trial class join notification through WhatsApp.
Correct. I think this was just a very quick pilot we had done. I think we've seen great results. About almost 60% of teachers have seen the increase in their punctuality percentage. So we'll definitely do that. I think there's some suggestions about if we can actually share that number from which the messages come, so they can save the teachers can save this one. I think let's look at that and execute that.
Right, we'll do that. Also, just a quick refresher, we had launched WhiteHat Junior Cares, a feature for you to apply for emergency cancellations in case of any personal or medical emergency in your family. I think we would encourage you to use this feature rather than actually trying to reach out to your RM or trying to reach out to concierge and then explaining the entire situation. I think this is really very, very quick. All you need to do is pick your start date, pick your time from which you want this emergency leave. And in case you know when you'll be back, you can just enter this here. You can put up a quick reason and you can apply immediately. The way this works is that in case if you're able to submit proof of it at a later stage, then there's no penalty charge on these cancellations. So we would strongly encourage you to not reach out to concierge and RMs, but to instead use this feature whenever you have a medical emergency with yourselves or with your family. We do hope that you don't have to use this feature ever, but just in case you do, we'd encourage you to do this. Now, I think this was one of the most talked about topics, and a lot of you had requested for some action to be taken on workplace. And basis feedback received from a lot of you, we released this feature about 3 days back, which is the SOS button. I think most of you are already aware about it, so I don't have to explain all of it. But the very basic is that if you're uncomfortable in the class and you want to end it immediately, please press the SOS button. What it will do is it will end the class. It will deactivate the student automatically, and you will return back to the comfort of your dashboard. Now, I think some of you have already used this feature. There were some issues with it early on where the student would show up in your trial conversion list. All of those issues have been fixed. We've released one fix yesterday. We'll be releasing one more later tonight. And with that, those minor hiccups that you are facing will be solved for. We would, however, urge you to use this very responsibly because this button comes with a lot of power, right? Because you'll be able to deactivate the student instantly. So please use it only in genuine cases. I'm very confident that you wouldn't misuse it, but just wanted to call out that this is a very powerful button and it's meant specifically for cases when there is an uncomfortable situation. In case of outages or in case of tech issues, please do not use the SOS button. There are other means of ending the class. Please use those. Please keep this reserved only for safety related issues.
Teacher, it's very, very important that the right usage of any power that's been coming to your hand, which are like, it could be SOS button, the class cancel, everything has to be used for that particular specific activity, specific reason only. It's very, very important that we are able to track and measure that what type of activity is causing what type of issues for our teachers. And hence the right tagging for each cancellation needs to be there for us to work on it. Right. So please make sure that we're using the right button for the right cause only.
Right. And also, I think this also came out as a very strong feedback from all of you, and thank you so much for that. We've released a new policy effective yesterday, which we have put across on Workplace. So I think for most of you, you'd already be aware about it. But what the policy essentially enables you to do is to rejoin at certain stages if you do take a maternity break from teaching. And we've explained that in detail. So in the interest of time, I'll skip the details. But we do hope that you like the policy, that we believe that this is really empowering. This allows you to take the break and still come back and join us and be able to resume without it impacting your WhiteHat Junior career. So this was released yesterday, and we do hope that you like it. And also in line with the other feedback which we've been getting across on Workplace and on emails, we'll soon be releasing a feature where you'll be able to track each and every performance metric. So Karan earlier spoke about input metrics, and this is largely all of those. So the idea is that once again, we'll empower you with all of that data, all of the information, so that you can then make the right judgment calls, right? So this will be something which you'll be able to access from your dashboard. We are targeting a November release for it. We'll come back to you with when we actually release it. But everything which, all of your performance metrics, everything which you work hard for will be visible here. And you'll also be able to see where you're doing well and where you're not doing well and where you sort of need to improve, so that you can then, take corrective course action accordingly. And it's not just, we'll just show you top line, we'll essentially show you details at a class level, right? So you'll be able to, for example, see which of your classes ended less than 45 minutes, right? Or which of the classes were you actually late for? So all of those details will be available to each of you for all of your classes. And that will essentially, again, empower you to take corrective actions wherever it is necessary. Now, very quickly, I wanted to cover a couple of points. So on a 1:2, like Karan spoke about it as well, we are making a lot of effort to scale it up. Like the 1:1 model, right? It always goes through a pilot stage first, and then we expand. So the pilot stage for 1:2 has been very successful. I think a lot of you teachers are already taking those classes. We have also started doing, we've also launched international, and we'll keep expanding the international part of it.
Yeah, Pratik, just one addition there to teachers. Teachers, we had taken the expression of interest from, I think about close to 1,400 teachers who had said yes. And in the first pilot, we had started with a very small number. Now going forward, as when we're scaling, all of the teachers who had raised out the expression of interest, given that they qualify the basic parameters about the quality and the input parameters, all of you would also be getting allocated to the 1:2 classes. I see many questions coming around that part on 1:2, so just want to address in this point itself.
Right. Thank you, Arshad. Now, there's some important watchouts. Please do not pitch 1:2 to any parent during your trial class. The trials will always be 1:1, and our intent is that the student converts as a 1:1. Do not influence any parent to either take a 1:2 class, or do not influence the parent to not take a 1:2 class. I think that is something which the parent and the sales managers can at a later point determine. The way we are doing this is that every fresh trial you take, we try and convert them for a 1:1 program. Now, in case after some time the parent or the student does not convert, then we pitch the 1:2 program to them, and that is how they move to the 1:2 program. Now, what that means is, because it's a batch program, you may actually have had some trial conversions, but the student may have moved to another teacher. Similarly, if you are amongst those 1:2 teachers, you may end up receiving students whose trial was conducted by another teacher. Now, the trial conversion percentage will still be attributed to the teacher who has taken the trial, but the class may actually be conducted in batches with someone else. Now, we know that some of you have raised concerns about this, but as we scale 1:2, this concern will start to go away, because some of your trial conversion students will move elsewhere, but you also start receiving students from other trials. Now, we do, however, strongly urge you that you spend time on LMS and go through, we have a lot of good material there on 1:2, especially on how to conduct those classes and manage dynamics with two students, so that you are prepared for it, because as we scale up, more and more of you will start getting those opportunities. Also, very quickly, from a communication perspective, we would personally urge all of you to check all emails which you get from WhiteHat. We are making an effort to reduce the number of such emails. We have made an effort to reduce the workplace triggered automatic emails unless it's very urgent. But we would really want all of you to spend the time and check every email which comes your way, because it has a lot of information. Also, all of you, if you have not done that already, should definitely download the Workplace app, because most of our important notifications and announcements, for example, the ones around safety SOS or the ones around maternity policy, and the ones we plan to do over the next few weeks, will be posted there. Now, as far as policies are concerned, there are two sources where you can go to. One is LMS. There's a platform basics module there, which has everything to do on policies around the way our payout structures work, around the way our MG works. And the same is also there on Workplace in the resources section. You can go to either of these two places and get to know what our actual policies are. The last point I would like to call out is that we would strongly discourage you from using the Workplace chat feature to raise concerns. The right place to raise concerns is concierge or live chat. We are working very hard to give you the best of service there. Please do reach out there, and we'll do our best to resolve your queries. With that, I'll hand over quickly to Romil, who will take us through the student success journey.
Hello. Hello. Pratik, am I audible?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Hi, teachers. First, I want to just introduce myself. I'm Romil. I lead student success here, and all the programs which we launch for students is something which I just want to kind of take this opportunity to take you through. Before that, just kind of want to spend a minute on the word student success. I think all of your efforts is what defines and what leads to student success. So I want to thank you for that, and whatever programs that we build are over and above the exceptional effort which all of you are doing. And just a small snapshot of different programs that we are launching for students in through their journey, from the first class till the 144th class, which we 144 classes which we have, and we will further kind of launch more and more programs going forward. The snapshot is, and all the programs are thought of with a single-minded effort, that how are we making the kids creative, which is in line with our overall mission of how we can make kids creators of technology rather than consumers of technology. At class 4, so there are 6 levels. At class 4, class 8, class 20th, class 32, class 44, and class 100. At class 4, they make their own personal website. They get their own personal website, which is a very proud moment for them. At class 4, because of all the games which they develop, they get a game developer certificate, and kids are very, very happy to receive these certificates. At class 20, we want to kind of take them beyond just coding, right? We want to make them think about real world problems. We want to make them think about how they're going to use technology to solve the world. So that's why we have tried to create a video series where these kids would be talking about their ideas and what they want to change the world using technology. That's something which we want to kind of really inspire them from whatever they have learned from all the teachers and the curriculum on technology. At class 32, which is level 4, there is an app creator certificate which we give to students. Both these certificates, the game developer and the app developer, are something which both the students and parents are very, very happy. It kind of really puts a milestone to their learning. It helps them, uh, it makes them really proud that, okay, I have actually now achieved something and I'm creating something. Uh, the next one is Silicon Valley, which is at class 44, where we invite students to, join, give us, think about a problem statement and submit a prototype with us, where they would be mentored, and we would kind of convert that prototype into a fully functional app, and then we will take them to Silicon Valley and get them to meet entrepreneurs, VCs, engineers from Google or Waymo. So that's something which we are working on, and we'll be executing it in October. October 25th to October 31st is when we would be executing that program for select students, which I'm going to take you through in the next slides. And the last one, where we want to kind of take this creativity to its peak and make them build companies, for whatever products which they are building, make them build companies, and we are going to fund them $18,000. So this is the student journey which we have planned in order to kind of take them from a consumer of technology to creator of technology. Pratik, next slide. Yeah. So the first program, which is CEO for a day, once the student completes 4 classes and 2 projects, what we ask the student to do is they get a new website, they get to kind of update their interest, they get to update their all the achievements of certificates, they update their projects there, and we want these projects and these certifications and all of this to kind of, the world should know about these achievements which the students are doing, and to kind of really inspire them to get inspire the world to know. We ask them to share this website along with a vision of what they want to really do. That's the start, right? At class 4, we want to really just make them think that what they want to build in as a company in the future, and that's where we ask them to kind of share a vision on any of the social media handles, tag us with WhiteHat Junior CU, and then we get 12 students to actually meet Karan and Baiju, and they will actually recommend on real problems which we are facing today and how we can improve as our company. And that's and we will have 3 of them being given a consultancy fees of sorts of $10,000, and we will do it once every quarter, once every 4 months, these sessions. And this is basically to kind of really inspire students to start thinking big, start thinking and aspiring more early. Pratik, next slide. As they kind of learn a little more, they start learning basics of coding with games. We give them this game developer certification, and as all of you know, right, there is a 3D gaming is kind of the next, the next arena where all the games will be built, and we want to kind of give them a glimpse of what happens there. Hence, we select 2 students who share their certificates on social media. We share 2 lucky students. There is no qualification or there is no competition here. We give them an Oculus Rift, which is a 3D AR VR headset, and it's just to kind of give students a glimpse of what is coming next, what is the next big thing in technology, especially in gaming, and that's where we have kind of done this. Pratik, next slide. Coming to the third part, where they have kind of spent some time with us on the platform, spend some time.
Romans, just once again. All the teachers who have the class at 11 o'clock, please proceed for your classes. We'll be sharing with you the recording of the entire session. Then you can go through it later on. Okay. Romans, sorry, please continue.
So after students have kind of spent some time with us, they've gone through 20 odd classes. That's when we want to really make them think that, okay, how will they start thinking of ideas and how is technology going to positively affect the world. They want to kind of change the world using technology, and we want to kind of make them record 2-minute videos, share it with us, and we're going to filter them basis the problem statement they choose, how they're going to attack, why they want to kind of solve the problem statement, how are they going to change that, and we're going to select 6 such students and get them to interact with Sonam Wangchuk. And we are going to do this on 30th of October. And Sonam is going to interact with these students, and these are our young visionaries who are going to vision the world of future. That's what we are inspiring these students to become. So yeah, that's the third milestone. The fourth milestone is an app developer, where students kind of get an app developer certificate, very similar to a game developer certificate. It's another milestone where it kind of really puts a cornerstone on their learning, that now they can actually go ahead and build apps, which kind of gives a cue for the next reward, which is coming. Pratik, the next reward, which is the Silicon Valley Challenge, where now they have learned coding, they have learned to think about a real life problem. Now they are going to match both of these together, and they are going to go ahead and submit a prototype with us. And these prototypes, we select them we select them basis, what kind of design, what kind of idea, what kind of features they have added on the app. And then we further provide an additional set of mentorship, which are 4 or 5 in numbers, and then they convert this prototype into a fully functional app. Again, after that, we evaluate these apps in the form of design, features, improvements from the earlier version, and then we are selecting 12 students. I'm going to also show you the 12 students and congratulate the teachers who have helped us help these 12 students going forward in the coming slides. And we are going to have this Silicon Valley Challenge executed in October. The next one is the final step, which is culminating into they becoming the final they actually making companies. They've thought about a problem. That was step 1. They made it into a tech product. That was step 2. They now, which is the step 3, is how do you get consumers to use it? How do you get consumers to pay for it? How do you think about technology product to influence? And it cannot necessarily be companies. It can be non-profit apps or simple apps that will help people, and a bunch of these ideas which are coming, right? And how can users start using it? That's the third step, where they are going to learn on after once they have completed 100 classes. And we are going to fund $18,000 to these 18 students. We are going to start invite invitations to all the students who have completed 100 classes from next week, and they will start working on their own projects, submit with us. All of this, whether it is a Silicon Valley program or the 18 under 18 program, is to foster the creativity which you have kind of instilled through your classes. And now it is more unassisted learning, which they would kind of do. They would start learning by themselves. And this is where it comes in, that whatever you have kind of taught our students will then start coming into exceptional apps, which I'm going to show you in the next slide, as part of our 12 Silicon Valley winners. So these are the 12 Silicon Valley winners who have created amazing applications. Some of you have mentored or taught these students. The teacher names are written slightly small, but we are going to put put their creations on Workspace, so that all of you kind of can see. And let me kind of describe a couple of applications, right? So for example, Manya Singhal, who is just 7 years old and has made AI based app, where she wanted to kind of teach her little sister of everything around her in 5 different languages. So she made an app where you click a photo, and the app recognizes what it is, and also recites it in the language which you want anybody to learn. And it's just so simple and very, very good in execution, that once we share the app links with you on Workspace, you can kind of go through it and really be proud of yourself of what we are kind of really having these students create all of these applications, and bunch of we get thousands of ideas every month, and all of these are, if I have to use one word for that, they are in the form of expression of what they feel, what students feel. For example, one more student who was himself a preterm baby and wanted to kind of uh, understood their parents' anxiety when he was very small, he was in ICU. He made an app out of that, and all of these are expression of their thoughts, their lives, and we, when we were kids, when I was kid, we used to kind of draw and express, or people, students used to write poems. Now they are making apps to express their creativity, and hence coding is a form of expression in its true sense, which is reflected in all of these student submissions which we get, and we get thousands every month. Unfortunately, we have to only pick 12 every 6 months, so only one kind of we can pick every month, and that is something which we want to thank you, that this is the real reason why all of us are working, to ensure that at the end of the day, students are really learning something and making something which is going to change the world in future. So yeah, that's the summary, and I want to congratulate all the teachers who have mentored these students, and we'll put all of these posts on Workspace. Thanks, Pratik. Thanks, Ashwin.
Thanks, Romil, for sharing the entire student success. Teachers, this is something that we're gonna be very focused upon to roll out, to execute. This entire thing also brings much more stronger credibility about the great work that all the teachers are doing at WhiteHat Junior, and also what is the tangible outcome that the student actually can see. Moving on to the September's awards and promotions. Pratik, do you want to take it from there?
Yeah. So, are you able to hear me?
Yes, we can.
So just very quickly on the hackathon, I think firstly, thank you all the teachers who actually helped with the hackathon assessment. And because of all of your effort, we were able to announce the winners really quick. We've just posted the top winners here. We'll be sharing a more detailed list of all the winners on Workplace later during the day. But we had more than 1.2 lakh participants. Over 13,000 clans were created. Students from over 50 countries participated. And at the end, we had more than 12,000 project submissions which had to be evaluated. So the hackathon, I think this is something which is really growing month on, every time we conduct it. We obviously also have our fair share of learnings every time we have conducted it. So I think this is only going to scale bigger when we do it the next time around. Now, very quickly coming to the most sought after part of the town hall, which is our promotion. So like we mentioned, right, at the end of the day, teachers are doing an amazing job on our platform, which is very reflective of the numbers here. So as usual, we have one Hall of Fame. We have 62 teachers who are being promoted to directors, and that is by far the largest number that have ever been promoted in a month. And we have over 317 mentors, teachers who have been promoted as mentors. So we'll very quickly cover. So a huge round of applause to Sanya, who's our newest addition to Hall of Fame. She has over 3,300 paid classes. She's teaching class numbers beyond 100. She maintains a punctuality of 100%. She has more than 100 students as well. So terrific stuff, Sanya. Many congratulations for being our Hall of Fame this month. Our best newcomer is Aditi. She has completed over 100 trial classes. She's done over 90 paid classes, and she has a trial conversion of 18%, and she's just joined us about a month back. So great job, Aditi, and you are our best newcomer. Now we have, like I mentioned, a number of teachers who've been promoted. Unfortunately, in the interest of time, we'll not read out each and every name, and we're really sorry about it. But we'll be celebrating all of these on Workplace, and I'm sure that you'll all be very delighted with it. But I'll pause on the screens for a few moments. But these are all the directors who we are promoting this month. And then moving on to the 317 teachers who have been promoted as mentor teachers this month. Many congratulations. I think there's terrific effort which goes in. It's not easy to become a mentor teacher, as most of you know, and it's even more difficult to become a director teacher. So really great job, everybody, and actually achieving this.
So congratulations to the Hall of Fame, to the newcomer, and to the all directors as well as mentors.
Well, we are really happy that it's so many teachers. Once again on applied tech, I know it's still and there are, so congratulations to all of you for really helping out as mentors in applied tech. So applied tech, as you know, we did not have a formal mentorship program because we had very few teachers to start with. But now the program is full-fledged and it's almost now running as one of our four other core level programs. So many congratulations and thank you for all the effort. Also, thanks Pansy, Sandhya, Bhavna, Soumya, and Afra for all your contribution on Workplace. I think you're all teachers who every other teacher on the platform is looking up to. You've had great success on the platform. You've really turned around things, not just on the platform, but also in your personal lives, which is totally inspirational for everybody, for all of us as well. And thank you for actually sharing those stories and bringing it out on Workplace. Also, for amongst all the mentor teachers, really happy to share we have 3 mentor teachers whose 4 mentees actually got promoted in September. So this wouldn't be easy at all for Simran, Tripti, and Usha. So many congratulations. Similarly, we have other mentor teachers whose 3 mentees were promoted this month. Many congratulations. I think this is really a lot of work to go through all of those activities, to get into those details and to be able to influence your.
Sorry, just 1 second. Can you go back to the previous slide? To the 3 teachers on the left side, Simran, Tripti, Usha, and to the entire about 11 teachers on the right side. I think I really wanted to thank you that you're able to actually give enough time apart from taking your classes to groom your mentees to. I think 4 out of 5 is a very big number. 3 out of 5 is a great number. And I just want to linking back to a question which was suggested by a teacher to Karan, that we do have a strong mentor-mentee program, mentorship program. And if any of you have a suggestion on how we can do better, please reach out to us, send us your suggestions. We will evaluate them. And if they're really good, we'll implement them. So do reach out to us on any suggestions that you have on how we can do better on the mentorship program as well. Because the grooming part of a teacher towards whether it's coding or platform fundamentals or curriculum fundamentals, that's something what the mentors are doing a great job so far. So I can congratulate all the promotions this month and the great mentors who have been doing phenomenally good job so far. Congratulations again. Yeah.
Right. And for our highest trial conversion teachers, this is a pretty amazing list. And I think for all the for all of us, like these are really numbers to sort after, right? So Shayana, Sandhya, Shraddha, Neetu, and Shruti. I think you guys are converting like 1 in every 4, probably even a little bit more than that, especially in your recent classes. But this is exactly what happens when when you as a teacher really invest in preparing yourselves for trial classes, in going through everything which is there in terms of knowing the curriculum, understanding what each and every aspect in the curriculum means. And not just that, right? It's also a lot on delivery, right? How do you judge what sort of interaction works with the student? What sort of phrases can I use? And the entire delivery part. And then how do I connect with the parents and how do I essentially, do the wrap up with them? So I think the combination of all of this done excellently means that you could still convert 1 in every 4 students. Doesn't matter how many you get, doesn't matter what time of the year it is. Getting 1 in 4 is a possibility, and we have teachers who are doing it. And I think I really congratulate you for all the hard work you're putting in to achieve it. This is by no means easy, but at the same time, I think if you use all the right tools well, I think this is very much possible for everybody.
There's a question around where teachers can send these suggestions on mentorship program and few others. We should get them on Advantage.
Right. So actually, you could either post it on Workplace or you could send it to Ridhiman. You want all of that to flow into teachers community or
yeah.
Teachers community works fine. Yeah.
Teacher community works great. So teachers, if you have recommendation around improvement, any ideas on improving the mentorship program, just send out an email to teacherscommunity@whitehatjr.com. You would be getting a lot of emails from that email address, and just mention on the subject line that this is an idea for the mentorship program, and we'll just pick those up, and we'll definitely try and implement whatever we can.
Ridhima, let's just post this particular piece, that this is the email ID where they can send the suggestions on workplace and make it.
Yeah.
So everybody
Sure, we'll do. Sure.
And of course, to our highest performing mentors who make up the leaderboard. So teachers who are getting in excess of 20% trial conversions in advanced, beginner, and even for applied tech, I think those are really great numbers. Across pro and intermediate, and I think the professional numbers really stand apart. I mean, now we are talking about 1 in 3 conversions, right? So if you have 1 conversion for every three trial classes, which is just amazing. So great job. I think it's again, like I mentioned, it's not easy to get here, but again, it just shows that if you prepare, if you invest time in actually preparing for these trial classes and you focus on the right aspects, it's very much doable. And teachers, I think this is the biggest unlock, right? If you're able to convert 1 in 3 or 1 in 4 trial classes, your earning opportunities will just shoot up. You don't have to really make the effort of doing too many trial classes, right? You can just do a few of them, do them really well, get those high trial conversions, and then you have paid students in the larger numbers, and then it's a lot easier thereafter, right? So I think what these teachers are just proving is that this is actually possible, and if we put in the right input metrics, we should all be achieving it. And finally, time for the Q&A. So what I'll do is I'll just open up. So we have sent out a Menti link, and I think we'll continue to sort of use that for our future town halls as well. That's because I think it's just very easy to post questions, and then everyone can vote on it and determine it. So I'll just quickly start sharing my screen again.
So while Prateek shares the screen with the questions, some of the questions are around 1:2. So teachers who have, as and when we're scaling up, we'll be reaching out to all the teachers who were not able to enroll earlier, but now they can actually do the expression of interest. Similarly, for math, we have gone ahead with just a sample set of about 500 teachers per class in the first step. Once we're able to complete the whole process, we'll be actually reaching out to other teachers also who have not been able to fill the form. And that's the second part of it, because that are the most questions around. Yeah. So teachers, we have about 700 questions. We will not be able to answer all of those. We will actually synthesize all the questions, group them accordingly, and then get back to you on all the questions this one.
Right. So, well, we'll start with the most popular one. So how to become a permanent employee of WhiteHat Junior. I think there are 2 parts to this, right? So one, I mean, all the teachers are on contract with us, but at the same time, at least we would like to believe that the way our policies work, the way our features work, the way we've been thinking about all the teachers, I don't think that really makes a difference. But if anyone is interested in actually becoming an employee with WhiteHat Junior, they can just apply into the regular HR means. But once again, I think our belief is so strong in the teacher community, and our thought has, I mean, we all have teachers at our heart when we are thinking about anything, and I don't think that it really makes a lot of difference. Why are older teachers being paid ₹50 per feedback, and the teachers who joined post? Yeah, I think this has been a question for some of you. Well, so the thing here is that I think it's as a policy, we had announced ₹50 per feedback back then, and those were very few teachers at that point of time, because the earliest teachers had joined in only in November, and that is when the policy was made. And at a later stage, we decided to redo the policy. The one thing which I would like to add here is that what we've done at WhiteHat always is, so we're not very fussy about these numbers, right? So the idea is that we do want a very sustained growth. We do not want to burn a lot of money and grow in that fashion. And for teachers who've been around with us for like 6 to 7 months would actually know this, right? So we were earlier a very India-focused business. And at that time, even our class payouts were ₹275. Then when we launched US, when we launched the night shift, we had a dedicated pay structure out there, which was for ₹400 a class. Then we introduce student feedback where we realize that, okay, you have to talk to the parent, you have to fill out that form, and that means that you have to make ₹100 effort there. And as we started to expand globally, we were very upfront in increasing that payout and passing that benefit on to the teachers. And the same, our same thought process will continue. I think what has happened here is that there were some teachers out there, and the policy at that time was ₹50, so we don't want to go back on that. But at the same time, we want to make sure that our growth is sustained, because if we burn too much, then that has unintended consequences for everybody, right? So, but rest assured, I think there are similar questions around 1:2 payout as well. As and when our businesses expand, as and when we start opening up in more markets, the benefits will always flow in to all of you teachers. We have done that in the past, and we'll continue to do that in future as well.
There's one more question on 1:2 about how does it benefit the students. So teachers, all the students who are very interested in post-year trials, but they could not convert because of the pricing, we are now actually able to offer them the same great curriculum, the same great teacher with in something which is far more lucrative for them to come on board using 1:2. That's how 1:2 has a very big potential to be a significant game changer.
Right. Thank you, Ashok. Well, as far as slots going into NSAs are concerned and WhiteHat Junior for long-term questions are concerned, I think Karan has addressed this upfront, so I'll probably skip this in the interest of time and move to the other ones. If we do not have any cancellation for a month, why can't we carry forward those leaves for the next month? Well, teachers, I think I'll take a step back here. Cancellation is a horrible experience for the student. I mean, there is no two ways around it. Every time we have seen a student who's had cancellations before, there's a very strong probability that they'll come back asking for a refund. And that has happened with us before. The reason we have a cancellation policy in the first place, the only reason we sort of allow 6 cancellations without a penalty, is because we understand that there could be an emergency situation, and we do not, and you should not have to pay a penalty for it. That being said, it's not something which we encourage. We do not believe that you should be canceling classes. The way the whole structure works is quite flexible, right? You get to choose when you want to open slots or when you don't want to open slots. So if you want to do something on a Sunday and you don't want to, you're not available, just don't open slots on that day, right? We do not want to encourage cancellation because that directly leads to a refund, and refunds are bad, right? Refunds are bad in 2 ways. A parent asking for a refund will probably tell 10 other parents that they did not have a good experience, which is not good for the brand. A parent asking for a refund means that you lost your paid student as well. So all the potential earnings which could have come from that student and all that effort which you are making. So that student went away, his potential renewal opportunity went away. So the entire earning opportunity goes away. So coming back to this, I think cancellation is not something which you want to encourage, which is why there's no policy and there will be no policy to carry forward those. It's a flexibility which we are given, understanding that at times there could be an emergency need.
Correct. And there is a very clear correlation between cancellations to student experience and the renewal percentages as well. Refund is one part of it, but for a student to continue to renew with the teacher, with the platform, the experience is paramount, and cancellation is one of the biggest reason for dissatisfaction on the platform for now.
Right.
So the policies are designed, devised, keeping in mind the flexibility for the teachers, the emergency situation that comes into play, but there has to be a finite line beyond that, which this thing should not be percolated or used or communicated.
Right. Thank you, Rachel. Can teachers be counted as permanent employees after a period of time? Well, as of right now, we do not have any such policy, but in case that does change, we'll communicate it back to you. Well, for maternity policy, I'm sure this question was posted a long time before Townhall, but like we said, we have shared one policy yesterday. We hope that it's to your liking, but if you do have any feedback on it, please feel free to comment on the same post on Workplace where we have shared the policy, and we'll definitely look it up. Why we're not getting any trials? Most parents are troubled with the amount of calls and messages. Well, these are, I think, questions which Karan has answered before, so I'll sort of skip them. The waiting time of 22 minutes should be reduced to 15 minutes. And the children should be punctual. Well, actually, so here's the thing. As far as trials are concerned, we want to give it maximum time because we want to maximize trial opportunities, which is why we asked you to keep waiting because, and we will sometimes even assign students at the 20th minute. because assigning a trial student at the 20th minute makes a lot more sense than not assigning a trial student at all simply because he was late, right? Now, for a paid student, of course, it's a paid student, right? We have to give them some flexibility. Our data indicates that there's not even a single student who's actually misusing this and who's consistently joining 20 minutes late, right? There are a few students who have a tendency to join after 5 or 6 minutes post class start time, but we so far have not found any extreme cases where a student is misusing it and joining after 22 minutes every time. In case you do have a paid student like that, please reach out to a concierge or please reach out to the RM and we'll look it up. More transparency and communication from sales team. Teacher should have a say. And info if a converted trial is routed to another teacher. So I think there are two pieces here, right? We've tried to be very transparent as far as the conversion status of any of your trials are concerned, and you can go to your trial class page and you'll be able to find what's happening there. In case you're not satisfied with what the salesperson has done, feel free to use the escalate button, which essentially directly raises the issue to Karan, and then a team there looks it up and will investigate what happened. We've provided a feature for you to use it. Feel free to use it if you feel that they're not doing that. Things are not happening as per your satisfaction. Now, as far as students getting assigned to another teacher is concerned, what we are doing right now is working on a way where we can communicate that to you the moment that happens. So give us 2 to 3 weeks and we'll come up with a fix on it, and you will be then informed if something like that actually happens. Not getting trials for 1 month, I think this has already been addressed. Can you make some amendments so that all teachers can avail some days of paid fixed holidays? Well, ma'am, so teachers, like I mentioned before, right? If you do have to take a holiday, do not open slots. And there are many teachers who do that. So there are teachers on the platform who have personal commitments every Saturday. So they just do not open slots on Saturdays and they teach in the rest of the classes. And that's how they manage it, right? There are teachers who have to go on leave because they have to attend a wedding. And because those things are known upfront, you always know that you have to attend a wedding 21 days before. You just don't open slots for those days when you have the when you want to actually take a leave, right? So that flexibility is there. The entire platform is designed for that flexibility. So we would actually, want you to use it if you do have to use it, and that's the way you can avail holidays. Recently, there's been a lot of negative publicity on our institution on social media. So as I think this has also been addressed by Karan earlier before. So we'll
So
skip
teachers,
that.
we would be actually coming. Or we are already started with our positive reinforcement about the great work we are doing, the great teacher quality we have, the great student experience we have, and that's how we're gonna go and forward this one. There are two approaches we can take. At one point in time is responding to each and every negative sarcasm or a comic comment comes our way, and the other way is that we actually stand true to the great work we are doing and we build on that one. So our approach is going to be the second one.
Right.
And as Karan mentioned, this is a journey every brand, every great brand has gone through their evolutionary cycle. You do some great job, you'll have people who for the right or wrong reason would come back and tell you this is what you're doing is wrong, this is what you're doing wrong. We understand and accept that yes, marketing is something that was not up to mark. We're going to improve on those bits as well. Let our action speaks louder than words.
Right. Now, I think it's already 11:30, so I'll probably pick up the last question. Could we have email with WhiteHat Junior domain? That would be a very good option while we communicate with parents. Yes, ma'am, we have taken that feedback. We'll come back to you in some time on how we can execute it and what the timelines would be like, but the feedback is well taken. I think in the interest of time, this is where we'd like to end it. Of course, we'll note down all the questions, and thank you so much for being really active on Workplace. I would, in fact, for teachers who are not around, or if you know of your fellow teachers who are not there, please recommend them to download the app because that's where important and exciting announcements keep happening from time to time. And I think we're getting a lot of feedback about things we can improve on out there, and we'll keep taking it up from there and we'll continue our endeavor to make the platform as robust as we can, with the assumption that all of you teachers will continue to make the investment to upskill yourselves and to do better as we go global, as we really become a very powerful and the largest edtech company.
Yes. The last thing, I think I'm just going to reinforce what Karan said, that yes, we are aware the trials have gone down for India as well as US. US, because of the very high escalated cost of customer acquisition, which we expect to get better by mid-November and so on and so forth. So please be patient with us. We are doing multiple things. Karan mentioned math is there, 1:2 is there, US market, interest market is something's there. That would actually be going forward. I think we're going to see significant improvement coming from next week itself. Uh, by the way, I think I liked one particular point a lot, which has come across. I don't remember the name of the lady who mentioned this. Great, which is Pratik. We should look at sending out WhiteHat Junior T-shirts, which teachers can use while giving the classes, or a particular dress. I think I really kind of thing. Thank you all, teachers. We have. I think I'm very proud of being part of such a vibrant community. I kind of see the engagement, the feedback coming on workplace. Please keep on doing that and do help us become better. So do share your feedback and session with us on the teachers community email ID that Ridhiman is just going to put on the platform immediately after this call. Cool. Thank you so much again, everybody. Talk to you again next month. Bye-bye.